There are a lot of war games out there. Each year new ones come out and some old hits are still as popular as ever. It's hard to choose just a few video games, but in 2022, there are some games coming out that a lot of people might be interested in, or some older games that still have a pretty strong online community. In this list, we'll tell you about some games that are coming out this year or that you can start playing right away. Number 10. Hell Let Loose. Most war games, especially the best ones, put you in the role of a brave soldier who does things that are worth the praise. This is not true in Hell Let Loose. In this game, you play as a foot soldier who is just like everyone else and doesn't have any special skills. Battles are planned out and realistic. Large-scale combat is the main focus of everything. You can talk to your team using proximal voice chat, which means you can play your moves in real time to beat your opponent. You don't have to just fight with a gun. You can also get into different vehicles, set up claymores, and call in artillery to really wipe out the enemy. Hell Let Loose is one of the best war games you can play right now, so you should check it out. Number 9. Tannenberg. Tannenberg only has one battle, while other games on this side have many different battles and scenarios. It talks about the battle at Tannenberg in 1914. The fact that Tannenberg is a World War I game is another thing that sets it apart. You can expect brutal fighting in harsh conditions. Realism is very important if you want your war game to be known as one of the best ones out there. Tannenberg doesn't have any bells and whistles like gold-plated guns and flashy accessories like in other games. Instead, it focuses on the cruel, harsh reality of war and everything that comes with it. It's great for players who want to feel like they're really in the game, where they have to think like their opponent and fight for their lives against tough odds. Number 8. Payload We Are. Pavlov VR's gameplay is similar to that of some of the best shooters of all time, like Call of Duty and Counter-Strike. However, the whole thing is seen from a new point of view thanks to VR. The gameplay is very traditional, and you can play some of the most popular modes from other games like Team Deathmatch, One in the Chamber, Search and Destroy, and many more. Payload VR is one of the best war games because it does things differently from other games. If one of the standard game modes are what you are looking for, you can always make your own maps to play with your friends and give other players something new and exciting. Number 7. Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts 2. Sniper Ghost Warrior Contracts 2 is a new game in the famous Ghost Warrior series, which has given us some of the best war games ever made. It focuses on stealthy gameplay and lets you play as a skilled sniper with contracts to complete on people of interest. It takes place in the Middle East, and there are a lot of contracts to finish, so you won't miss anything. When a game is about one thing in particular, it should be as realistic as possible. This means you should be able to fight in any way you want, and the way you kill enemies should be true to life things like depth, wind, gravity, and a lot more to give you an immersive experience. Number 6. Sprocket. This is one of the most interesting and unique games to come out in the last few years. In Sprocket, your job is to build your own tank however you want. Every part of the war machine can be changed, from the exhaust to the hull to the engine to anything else you can think of. If the only thing you did in the game was design your tank, it wouldn't be very interesting, would it? Well, don't worry. Once you finish building your dream tank, you can start battle simulations where you can test each part and see how it works in a real battle. The best war games give you the thrill of making your own tank and taking over the battlefield. If you find something wrong with it, you can just go back to the garage and change it until it meets your needs. Sprocket is an unmissable experience. Number 5. Defcon. The way you play Defcon is a little different from the other games on this list. Instead of fighting in just a few battles, you are in the middle of a global war. All of your actions happen in a single room where you control your forces and what they do by looking at a computer screen that shows the whole world and all of the threats on it. Here, the focus is on how you need to control your artillery to weaken the other side so that your ground troops can march in and win. This is what makes Defcon such a great experience and one of the best war games. It's a great strategy game that's lots like the old war games we used to play. Number 4. Squad. Squad is another game that puts a lot of emphasis on realism. It's set up like battle royale games, where 100 players are put on a big map and try to be the last team standing. The thing that makes it different from the best war games is that you have to fight slowly and carefully because the other team will be doing the same thing. Using the squad voice chat to organize your team gives you a very immersive experience and lets you make quick decisions just in time. As you move around the map, you will find vehicles that you can use to your advantage. Squad puts the player in a situation where they need to use the environment and good planning to get the upper hand. So if you want to play it, be ready for a tough but rewarding time. It's a truly innovative game that deserves to be on the list of best war games. Number 3. Vanguard by Call of Duty. Call of Duty games have always been popular because of how well they play and how smart they are. People have said that games in this series are best war games ever made. In this game, you are put into hot and dangerous world of World War II. The single-player story is good and covers some of the biggest battles of the war, but we all know that the main focus is on the detailed and complicated multiplayer. Once you start playing, you are thrown right into action, where you can beat other players in a number of different game modes, all of which were brought back from the previous games because they're so good. In the zombie mode, we can kill waves of zombies, so you can do that if you don't want to kill other people. Number 2. The Face of War. This is a very popular free-to-play game that doesn't focus on a specific time in history but instead has its own universe, making it one of the best war games. Different types of soldiers are put together in squad of 3 to 5 people. You can play as an assault, sniper, engineer, or medic. Each class has its own perks and benefits that set it apart from the others, so you can choose the one that fits you best and go with it. Combat and gameplay are split up into missions, which gives players a specific goal to reach. This can be anything from walking with a tank through a village to killing boss who is protected by armor. Some of the enemies and missions are based on science fiction, which can make the missions pretty hard. Warface takes the strict rules for how to make the best war games and gives them its own twist. In Warface, things like robots, drones, cyborgs, and turrets are common, so get ready to have a good time. Number 1. Battlefield V. Battlefield V is the 2018 version of one of the most popular game series ever. Combat is intense, with features that make you feel like you're really in the battle, and missions in the single-player campaign are well thought out and fairly complicated. Battlefield V has stood the test of time and is still one of the best war games you can play. This is in contrast to Battlefield 2042, which has been criticized by some. We've reached to the end of our list. All of these games are some of the best war games ever made, so you can't go wrong with any of the titles we've given you. The best war games have been around for a long time, so it's hard to make something new that will stay popular. These games, however, don't have any problems like that, so you can't go wrong. If none of these games here really appeal to you, you can always check out Best Gacha Games 2022 to find something new.